we'll figure that out as we go. She'll be hopping on. Okay, so it is almost the last week. Well, it is the last full week of August. I don't know where summer went. I'm not prepared for that. And so there's Jessica.
Hi, I'm on twice now. Suddenly I can join.
It was so weird. Like you were just like a black, like it said you were on, but it was just a black box of nothingness. It didn't even say your name or anything. So we got to figure it out. Okay, you didn't miss anything. So a few announcements is that it's the last week of Team Cup. So let's do this. If you haven't hit Success Club yet, you want to do that because then you get the free MBF tank. If your whole team hits Success Club, you get a director's chair. And then if you're in the top 2 in the central region, you get AirPods. And my team is going for top 10. Right now we're 17. And so we've been on the leaderboard, which is like, I get goosebumps. The first week of Team Cup, we were 2nd in the central region, which was crazy. But these past 2 weeks have been hard. I don't know. I've been stagnant. And so I'm going to re-push. The other announcement is Summit 2021 is July 15th through the 18th. I just wanted to throw that out there again because July will be here before we know it. And I'm excited because like Jess just bought her ticket too. So she'll be coming with us. And so I'm super excited about that. Especially like planning for the team retreat. Like Summit is like the team retreat on steroids. And so I'm just very excited about Summit. July 15th through the 18th of next year is just something to think about. And then team retreat. So team retreat is October 30th through the November 1st. It's not like you have to like commit right now. I'm just trying to figure out how many people, but I booked Airbnb and a photographer that we'll be using on Sunday morning. And so, and I designed t-shirts today. So we're going to get t-shirts, but I'm not ready to reveal those yet. Maybe by the end of team call, I will just anyways, I'll unrecord it and then you guys will be able to like get a sneak peek of what they are because I'm excited. Okay. The other thing, so tonight, hello, Miss Liz. Hello, baby. That baby distracts me every time. We saw so many babies this weekend and now I'm like, baby. And Shane's like, no. Okay. We're going to talk about challenge groups and then like planning out your calendar. So like I have mine in front of me and it has all my stuff. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about challenge groups and Jess is going to talk more about planning your month. How many of you guys listened to the National Wake Up Call this week? Oh, perfect. Okay, Sarah did. So Sarah, some of this might sound a little familiar. Jess and I have kind of been like processing it through each other and then adding kind of our flair to it. And so if you're not watching the National Wake Up Call each week, you guys really should be because they're so good every single week. Upcoming challenge groups. So we have the Feel the Burn challenge group starting tomorrow. And I cannot wait. If you have anyone who wants to be in that, you're welcome to add anyone to it or add yourself into it. It's going to be fun. And then, and Jess can chime in here too if she wants, but I know Jess and Mackenzie are going to be working on like a mom challenge group. So it's going to be specific, like it will only be for women who are moms. Like just because obviously if you're not a mom, it defeats the purpose of having a mom group, whatever. And so I didn't know if you wanted to touch on that a little bit, Jess, is what your idea was for that?
Yeah, I can. So I'm going to try something. You know, like Brianna's 2020 Confidence Project is ongoing. So I'm going to do on bod groups ongoing, but we're going to like split it up either like every 2 weeks or every month, kind of have like a different topic that we focus on. So like at the beginning for a couple weeks, we're going to talk about like habits and routines. And then I think the second one I want to do is like eating healthy as a family. And so like, kind of because then it goes along with my calendar thing too that I'm trying to do. So every couple of weeks you're like, hey, we're gonna like be doing this. Do you want in on the challenge group? But yeah, so it's gonna be on bod groups. I can make anybody that wants to add people to it. admins or send them the invite or get them in there somehow. So it's kind of the basics of it.
Yeah. And then Tia, Angie, and I are planning to do a teacher group in like mid-September. So I'm guessing we'll do that right around when we end MBF and stuff like that. And so that's kind of how we will do that, is a teacher group. And we don't know really the details about it yet. We just know we want to do a group. We wanted to wait till people kind of got settled into school, especially this time of year. Like, we want to make sure teachers have their life figured out before we're like, hey, try to add a workout to your routine too. And so that's kind of where we're at on that. Okay, I know we've talked about challenge groups before. The last time we talked about challenge groups, I think Sarah G talked to us about her challenge groups. And so I just wanted to recap like why they're important. And so here's my call to action. I'm going to start with my call to action is by the end of September, I want each of you to be running a challenge group. So, I mean, I'm not saying like you're kicked out of the 2020 Confidence Project, like get out, like you need to do your own thing. But what I'm saying is like, for example, Angie and I are co-leading this MBF group we're doing, right? Jess and I co-led the last MBF challenge group, and now she's doing her own challenge group, right? Sarah does her own. I think any of us can tell you in here that have kind of ran or co-ran stuff is that you have a whole new level of I don't know what you want to call it, responsibility or like meat in the game when you're running your own challenge group. I just think that you kind of, I don't know, it just kind of adds a whole new ball to the game and really helps you step it up, because then you're taking a lot more ownership in that, and you're able to, I guess I don't know like the word I'm looking for. It just helps you push kind of harder because you're adding to your group. And when you're talking to the person to be in your challenge group, like they're seeing your face, they're seeing your posts, they're seeing your stuff. And I think it just helps a lot. And it's not like, oh, hey, let me add you to my uplines accountability group or something like that. So that's my call to action, is by the end of the month, I encourage all of you to have your own. And I'm not saying like take your people out of Confidence Project and put them in a own Facebook group. I'm saying maybe you team up with someone else and you create a challenge group that you want to run, or a program you want to run, or anything like that, right? So maybe Amber's like, hey, like I want to do an MBF challenge group after this one, but I want to run it. And, so, okay. A few things to have a successful challenge group. So number one, you can have any amount of people. Right, Sarah talks about, I think there's like 3 or 4 of them in her challenge group. And yes, I mean, when it's small, sometimes it can be weird, but at the same time, it's only weird if you make it weird. And you also have to realize the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Like there's no magic number, because now we have over 100 people in the 2020 Confidence Project. But I also wonder, like, does that sometimes scare people away because it's a large group? It's not a small knit. Like, you think when you have 3 people in your challenge group, like you can check in with every one of those people every single day. You can be like, hey, where's your sweaty selfie? Hey, where's this? Because I mean, you only have 3 people, or, whatever amount of people you have. You should have sweaty selfies. I think that's the biggest thing in our challenge group that's helped. And I've learned that even if people don't post their sweaty selfies, the sweaty selfies motivate them to work out. So the sweaty selfies motivate them. And like, I have people who will send me photos, like will text me photos, will Snapchat me, or send me photos on Instagram of their sweaty selfie. They just don't feel confident posting it. So even though like maybe you don't see it on their thing, they may still be working out. They're just afraid. People are really afraid to do sweaty selfies. Add value. So the big thing is like, what are your challengers going to get out of your challenge group? So is it just a place for them to post a sweaty selfie? Because how much value really is that? Like, yes, maybe it's a lot of value because they're staying accountable, but there needs to be more than just selfies, right? It needs to be recipes or tips and tricks or whatever. How, like, for example, how Angie and I are running this MBF group is we have, your workout post in the morning. We have something fun at noon. So we have, similar to how we used to do the Confidence Project, right? We have affirmations on Monday, tips and tricks Tuesday, water Wednesday, gratitude Thursday, favorites Friday, self-care Saturday, and scripture Sunday. So exactly the same way we used to run the Confidence Project. Guys, you want to know something? We cheated. We literally went back in the Confidence Project, stole the exact same photos and plugged them into the group. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't do it. Like, steal, beg, borrow, I don't care. But we took those, plugged them into our group. Like, thanks, Ange. Definitely copy and pasted a couple of your captions too with the Friday favorites. Like, I'm not here to make you work 10 extra hours a week on a challenge group. I'm here to just help you be successful, and that's one way to do it. Get feedback. I'm not the best at this. I'm really bad at collecting feedback, but I know Tia does it really well. She just puts together like a little Google form and like asks people questions, and that's been really helpful for her. And I need to get better at it. Everyone always tells me I need to focus more on nutrition, and that's my weakest point. And so I'm trying to be better about that. But and then you say, Brianna, how do you get people to interact? Like, how do you get people to comment on your posts? All you can do is lead by example. If I had $1 for every day I was the only human being that commented on one of my posts, like even if it was a Friday, or I used to post a self-care Saturday and it'd be like, show me what you did. Like, and mine would be the only photo up. Like, it was just what it was. Like, you set the example and then you encourage people, right? So maybe you check in with your challenger and they're like, yeah, I'm doing well, stuff like that. You're like, oh, sweet. I haven't seen sweaty selfies. Like, have you thought about posting sweaty selfies at all? And then maybe they're just like, oh, like, I'm scared to do it. And then I'm like, do it. Like, and I just try to explain to them how it actually does add a lot of accountability. Like, I don't know why taking a photo after your workout and posting it like makes you want to do your workout. I don't know, but it works. And so the big thing is just doing that. And that's where I think it's nice too to co-lead a challenge group, because it's like if Angie posts something, I can comment on it. And if I post something, she can comment on it. And then it's like less awkward if you have like groups or a group or a teammate where you can come together and do that. Lastly is recognition. So I really encourage you to recognize your challengers. This can be done in multiple ways. How I do it is I try to check in, and then a lot of times I screenshot what they tell me. Most of the time I blur out who it is, if there's any photos, stuff like that, because I feel weird asking them, can I post this on my social media? Like, I feel weird asking that. And so I guess my thought is if I blur out their name, I've never had someone yell at me yet for being like, that was personal information. Why'd you share that? I've only ever had people be like, oh my gosh, like, I feel so special that you shared like what I said. Or like guys, one of my challengers in MBF, she lost 9.5 inches in the first round. 9.5 inches total. I'm like, holy crap. Like, and even her photos, she looked way more confident, way more happy. And so like, I just screenshotted our conversation and like did it that way. And she was literally like, oh my gosh, it means so much that you like put that on your story. Like, I'm so proud of myself and stuff like that. And so that's one way to do recognition. The other way is like, I do a challenger of the month, and then starting this month, my challenger of the month will get a headband or something, probably a headband each month. And it's just something fun to incentivize people to work out. And it means a lot. Like, I think I maybe have talked about this, but Jody, who was the last challenger of the month, like, she literally texted me bawling because she's like, you have no idea how much that means to me, and how much like she's like, can I post it on my Facebook? Can I like share this with people? I'm like, yes, you can. And now Jody runs around school telling everyone, you have to do Beachbody. Why are you not doing Beachbody? And I'm like, I love you, Jody. And so it just means a lot to people. Oh, and comment, and with recognition, because on your challenge tracker or on your Success Club tracker, it has recognized people. And I do this as commenting on their selfies, commenting on anything like our nutrition check-ins. I try to reply to their comments and stuff like that, and being like, yeah, like, good job, or like, way to identify that that's a weak point, like just different things. And then why are they important? Why should you care, and why should you run a challenge group is it's something to invite people to. So Jess is going to touch on this a little more in depth, but it's really nice, as you guys know, having something specific to invite to. It's a lot easier to talk on your stories about a specific program you're doing or about a certain challenge group you're doing. It's really awkward to be like, hey, here are my workouts I do every day. Like, do you want to join me? Like, that's awkward. So if you have a very specific purpose to invite them to, it's a lot easier. the other thing is it really, I think, creates a hype because like you're excited, like, I don't know, like how much we've been talking about MBF and I'm so excited for it. It gets everyone else hyped up about it when they can see that. And then lastly, it builds excitement and community quickly. I think there's just something special about doing a challenge group where everyone is on the same day, everyone's doing the same workout. Like it's really cool to have that. And so I really encourage you, and how I am running my challenge groups and how I will probably continue to run my challenge groups is the 2020 Confidence Project is for anyone who has been in a past challenge group of mine or is someone who like signs up not with a specific program, right? Like people who are just doing random programs. And then my BOD groups are going to be program specific or like content specific. BOD groups, if you've heard me talk about BOD groups before, it's always been really negative, but BOD groups has got a lot better. Now you can go live. Now you can, like we scheduled all our posts. I was telling Angie, it's nice because you can pull your past posts. So like I did all our posts for the workouts for MBF that Jess and I did together. And like literally I could take that same exact post. It's in my post library. You copy and pick a date to do it. And so I literally had to click 2 buttons and the posts were in the other challenge group, which was really nice. So, okay, I'm going to turn it over to Jess because she's going to talk a little bit more about a calendar and planning.
Yeah. Brianna, can I share my screen if I'm not the host person deal? Did you hear me, Brianna?
Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, you should be able to.
Where is that?
The green share.
Oh, hey, it's the green button that's a different color than all the others. Okay, that's weird. Share. Okay. Okay, so you guys can see the presentation deal. Okay, so this week on the National Wake Up Call, a gal talked about like how her first year she was just kind of like all over the place and didn't really have any organization, like was just random with all her inviting. And something that she said she changed when like her success shifted was she got organized. And this is like a major thing that I've been feeling like I need to do. I've been working nonstop, but like not really seeing any return from it. And it's also like wearing on like our family and my mental health. I mean, you can't work all the time. So I took what she talked about and kind of created a calendar system for myself to simplify every single month. I'm going to try to do it from now until the end of the year and see how it goes. And then I kind of reevaluate at that point. So this is a view of my September. I'll just move you over here for now. So I just took a calendar and wrote on it. So the focus is, I don't know where to put you guys. Let's just make you smaller. There you go. Put you in the corner. Okay. So the way I set it up for myself is week 1 and week 2, I'm going to focus on inviting to groups. And then that's also going to be the thing that I focus on for my posting on social media. So things just like sharing about the programs that we do, different topics that we would go over in the groups. So like focusing on things about nutrition, things about routine, whatnot. And then weeks 3 and 4, I'm going to focus way more on inviting to coaching opportunity and posting about that. Like, and I don't want to every day be, hey, join me as a coach. So doing things about what coaching has given me and the ways that it's improved my life. And then like you could share, Brianna was just talking about sharing, recognizing people, you can share other coaches on our team and things like that. I'm really excited about this because lately I have been trying to schedule posts out ahead of time. There's an app called Planoly, and I've been trying to use that because I like to see too how the pictures fall in on my social, like on my Instagram feed. So if somebody clicks on my profile, like it's not like 6 straight sweaty selfies of me. But this will allow me to this will allow me to be focused in what I am scheduling out ahead of time. So I know that the first 2 weeks I want to schedule things that highlight our groups, our accountability groups and whatnot. Then the other thing is I put on here my key dates. So like I was telling you guys when I talked about the mom group, up there at the top it says purpose and habits. We're going to call that mom group Route to Revival. So that's what the R to R is. So we're going to talk about, purpose of the group. I had to look closer. So purpose of the group, and then like habits and routines. And then I have that the next 2 weeks, we're going to do healthy eating as a family. And then the other dates that I have on there are the coach sneak peek and the coach opportunity webinar. So those are 2 things that we'll be hosting kind of as a team, right, Brianna? Yeah. So that coach sneak peek will be on the 19th and 20th. It'll be 2 days of Facebook group. And then the coach opportunity webinar on the 24th. That's kind of something that we haven't done before. Right, Brianna? You haven't done anything like that?
No, it's essentially going to be like a Zoom call. And so some coaches, like the coach on the National Wake Up Call talks about, she does like the last 2 Thursdays, she does a coach opportunity webinar. But we've seen good success with those coach sneak peeks. The 2 days, we're going back to the way we had them. I tried this coach trial run thing, because that's what Candace and Andrea, like that's kind of what they do, and have had really good success with it. So I'm like, hey, I'll try it. And I really thought it flopped. I didn't think it worked very well. And so we're going back to how we did like all the information posted on Saturday and then coach testimonies on Sunday.
Yeah. So I am planning, if I wanted to wait and see, like get feedback from you guys on this system, but I am going to make this more like actually make it on the computer. So it simply has like, your week to week focuses, and then a section where you can write in your own key dates, because I think a big benefit of this too for like new coaches could be that it's repeatable month to month. I really think it can help get your new coaches in a groove of like, hey, this is how our team kind of functions, because they're going to be adding into our groups to start with, right? So giving them kind of like, okay, this is a heads up, like this is kind of where like the flow of a month for our coaching sneak peeks, our groups, because I think that if we're going to grow our team, something that we really need to focus on is like our new coaches, like getting them to look for other coaches to join with them too. So yeah, I want to know what you guys think about it, I guess, if it's something that would be useful for other people, because if it is, I will make it into more of a format that can be repeatable month to month.
The other goal with this too is to try to make it more clear. Like if you watch my stories, my people are probably confused as hell, because one day I'm talking about coaching, one day I'm talking about my challenge group, then one day I'm talking about like the promo codes, which don't apply to the challenge group that I'm doing. And then I'm talking about coaching again. And I think like sprinkled all together is fine, but I'm inviting, like on my stories, it seems like I'm always inviting to something different, like every day, which I bet is really confusing and no one knows what I'm actually like clearly doing. So hopefully by defining like these 2 weeks I'm inviting to this and these 2 weeks I'm inviting to this, it becomes, we're hoping, a lot more clear, which then provides more results because people aren't confused on what it means.
I like it too. I think it'll help us stay on track and help us probably focus more on making sure that we have a group coming up. And then like, this is what we should be talking about on our stories to help grow our business. So I think would be like, even I would love to use this too, because it'll help me stay organized. And then especially like you said, for new coaches, I think this could be super helpful, I think.
I personally think, I think this would be helpful too, because like if I like come across a mom that wants to be in this mom group, like it would help me stay organized of like what you guys are doing. And like if I come across somebody that I think would fit in that group, it'd be a whole lot easier to keep track of too.
So. Yeah, so that's something that we can do, like, is like when we make one, the one, like if I make one for September, like off to the side, like, okay, this is our groups that we do as like a team, or the groups that everyone in our team has going on. And even like with the mom one, like, okay, this is our topic from this to this, and this is our, so you guys can like kind of tell them what's going on in it too. And then the other thing, like I had a hard time deciding how to set up the month because I think it's weird. So like I'm starting a new topic on the 13th for the mom group. And like they talk about, they start their groups on like the third Monday of the month, which just seems really weird to me. Like, I don't know how you like talk people into that. I don't know. It just seems really odd. So that's why I went back and forth on that mom group on doing a ongoing one or like a month to month one. So what I'm going to do, but at the same time, inviting to your groups at the beginning of the month is beneficial because I think that pushing to invite new customers at the beginning of the month is good, because then you can get your success club in and you don't, it's not like, because when I wait till the end of the month, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta do this. And I think you get more salesy easier. So I went back and forth on it, but in the end, I think that inviting to groups and to new customers at the beginning of the month is just the way to go. If you have like a challenge group you want to start, on the first of a month, that might change a little bit for you. But yeah, I can try to make like format for us, because I started the other day, but I didn't have the computer patience to do it, so I just printed it out and wrote it down. The other thing I wanted to show you guys really quick, because I was like, okay, this goes into organizing too, is, so it looks really crazy, but it helps me so much. So this is my Google Calendar, and it's linked with both my like personal that I use for Beachbody Gmail account, and I have a work Gmail account. And I have literally scheduled out my days in big blocks, like general blocks, like where my family time is, time at like, taking care of house things. And so I've just scheduled out like, okay, this is my morning routine, my workout, my coaching business time, and my family time, work, family time. And then I've even scheduled in my personal development, because I'm going to finish the Slight Edge finally and send it back to Brianna. So I don't know. I think that like the calendar, and then just scheduling, blocking out your time, because I thought I didn't have enough time for my family either, in which I want to stay home. So obviously like I want more time, but like you start to block it out and you're like, oh, I have time if I just put my phone away and actually spend time with them. So
I love this, because if you listen to Melanie Mitro, and if you guys need some help on time blocking, Melanie Mitro has so much stuff on time blocking, because she is a huge person who believes that every minute of your day should be scheduled out, regardless maybe you believe that or not. But like Jess, obviously she's not saying like we eat dinner at 6:15, at 6:17 we get out the forks, like.
Well, and I've tried to do that. Like I didn't like the idea of time blocking. Like I was like, oh, it's like, I know I have to like talk about our plan for the fence. Like me and Riley need to do that ASAP. So like put it on Monday, and I'd spend so much time trying to schedule out my week, and then things didn't happen that way, and it like was worthless in the end. Anyway, so what I'll do is just like in the description for like family time, I'll like write a list of things we could be doing, or like things that need to get done for the week, and it'll be in every one. And same thing for coaching. I know this week I need to get done with scheduling posts for the mom group, because I want that done before it even starts. I want the first 2 weeks like ready. So
I love it.
Just kind of ideas for you guys to schedule your lives, because I know you are all busy. I think literally everyone but me and Amber on here tonight, right, are teachers. So, well, and Sarah, you were down below, sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's a busy time of the year for everyone, and my busy time of the year is like the beginning of October through like December 1st. So trying to get my life figured out before then. What else do you guys think?
Any questions for Jess or I or anyone on groups or scheduling or any of that? I know I'm going to try to time block more, and I've been trying to tell myself, like, I will have my tracker done by 6 p.m. every night. Like, that is, which it doesn't work because sometimes I don't even get home till like after that, then I'm like, it's out the window. But try to, if you are trying to create more boundaries, like Jess said, like, you can burn yourself out on this really fast if all you're doing is living and breathing coaching and like you're waiting. And there was so much time, right? I would be working my business and here I am like scrolling Instagram, like, I don't know, commenting on everyone's posts. And I'm like, well, I'm working. And it's like, at some point you're not working anymore. Like, you're just avoiding doing the tasks, that the other tasks. And so I've told myself, like, you will sit down, here's 45 minutes that you have to do this. Cause or even half an hour. Cause right, our power hours have taught us we can get a tracker done in 30, 40 minutes. And I've told myself, like, you will have your tracker done by 6 o'clock and then it's going away and you will spend time with Shane or do whatever. And so that's helped a lot, trying to create those boundaries, because it's easy to get burnt out. I mean, I would spend every minute that I could on coaching, and then your significant others are mad because they're like, why you don't spend time with me? You don't do anything besides hide in your cave.
I will speak from the other end of that. I have someone that works constantly, so it sucks.
You're like, I work all the time to deal with that. Yeah. And that's how it started. Like, Shane was always working, so I always worked on it. But now I'm getting back to the point of, like, when he comes home, he wants to like do stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, got it. So, any other questions, comments, concerns, anything? Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.